Coastline. And obviously, you know, we've kind of said that these were generally maps that, in a weird way, this ban phase went the way of Shrug, in that these weren't great EG maps. But then they've just kind of put a pretty meteoric performance in on Consular.
Yeah, and now they've pushed us to Coastline, which this is a decent map for both teams, actually. EG have won recently versus TSM, and Shrug have had a few decent results here, as well as a draw on Coastline during the Challenger League regular season. Yuva Juices are going to kick things off with the ban of Jackal, and there goes NVK's Ash.
Yeah, I mean, that Ash was causing quite a few nightmares, and we could see Ash was actually bought a little bit by Shrug, but it didn't really come to fruition the same way that they had managed to make it work in their favor. Jaeger! Huh.
Not sure how I feel about a Jaeger ban on Coastline.
It's a bold call.
Yeah.
We'll see how that comes together. Mirror is still on the board here. Lion, which has been a big staple of EG's previous map, still on the board here as well.
I have a suspicion about how this is going to go down.
It's
that
like
Shrug think they're going to lose this map.
So they've target banned Stokes.
Yeah, they have target banned Stokes if you were playing. But also I think they're just going to bring 5 nades and they're just going to make this the most horrible. Yep. They're just going to make this the most horrible series that EG have ever had to play in their lives. That's 10 nades up on the table. Don't forget, Glaz does have nades now. So, yeah, this is... And on Coastline as well, there's so many angles you can get naded from on Coastline. And yeah, if I'm EG and I'm looking at this lineup, yeah, Gio, I don't blame you. Not one of the Pulsar.
The response for EG at this point is to try and spawn peek and take out as many of them as possible.
This is going to be horrific as well, because don't forget on Coastline, there's loads of vents above.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Oh god,
Cool Vibes vent, there's Aqua vent.
God, I'm EG right now, and I'm like, oh god, do we really have to go through this?
It's like, imagine if Fuse had nades as well and they'd worked that into the lineup.
The thing is, like, Shrug, like, okay, you could say, okay, this is actually a good strategy to do if they know their attack first, okay, to make it insanely attacker-sided. Then Coastline's already one of the attacker-sided maps.
Yep.
If not really the only attacker-sided map. Make it even more insanely attacker-sided by just bringing nades. But as soon as Shrug moves onto the defense, this is not going to work. They are going to get slaughtered. So they're just going to turn this into the most horrific series EG have ever had to play in their lives. And maybe, just maybe, it'll work in the terms of like the psychological warfare actor. But yeah, if I'm EG, I'm not looking forward to playing the first 6 rounds of this.
Oh no. Well, I guess we'll see if the magical 6 grenades can work. They don't even need the diffuser.
Oh, well, there goes one.
There's what I said would probably happen. NVK is going to get aggressive with the spawn peek, drop Flynn before he can even get close. Swings out from Aqua Balcon, finds him as he tries to run up from Ruins. That's 2 grenades off the table, but there's still bodies inside, and Cloud finds Young with the LMG. And Mexican finds 1 with the Glaz as well. This Geo finds 1 on the swing in, and there goes single player, but now it is just down to, well, long-range grenades, but C4 wins out from deep. Modigger finds Rats, and Cloud finds Necrox, puts a double on the board, and this is just insane!
This is just a frag fest all around, and it has left us in a 2v1. It's all down to Geo. He finds Cloud Shrug. He's got to find 1 more. Does he know that Mexican's on that Billy's Repel? His finger buff has just ran out. He does have Diffuser, however. Nades are going to go down, and he's going to go for the swing, and he does see Geo and takes him off the board. Wait, what? Bit of a spectator bug there, but yeah, he did take him off the board. Don't forget as well that Glaz also got a buff recently with his fire rate, and
yeah, he's fast.
He's very fast.
He's a fast man now. Obviously, it's worth pointing out, not loading has been swapped for the 6th member of the roster. Nugs has jumped into play for the first game today, and you know, maybe this is just the play style of Nugs. Maybe they've gone, oh, we've got to do 10 grenades. That's how Nugs likes to play.
It might just be as well that not having the full 5 roster in LZ, I do believe, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure not loading is still the IGL for Shrug. I know he used to be the IGL, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure he's still the IGL, so I think without their IGL, Shrug have kind of just abandoned all advanced strategy and just gone, you know what?
There's no rules here.
We're just going to nade them.
There's no rules in Coastline.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Glaz being able to find a couple of bodies inside, and KB again found found an early death, actually, in terms of Flynn being taken out of the equation. So it's the balance of how this stuff is going to go. A little bit more information, versatility there with Valkyrie and the Mozzie pairing up. And they're going to, I guess, you know, opt for mobility. I think this is how this game is going to play. More C4s are on the table, and they're going to give themselves a little bit more of a straight-up firefight, because that's what they're expecting from Shrug. This is what happens when you spend the week scrimming in Call of Duty. You end up taking a map like this and bringing this in a tactic and actually finding a round out of it to begin with, but hey, how many more of these can you bring up?
Yeah, it was a very close round, to be fair. It was a 1v1. MVK, again, going to go for his spawn peek as well to try and find one, but oh, they're going to be wiser to it. And he's going to get lit up. Not taken off the board just yet. EG not looking too good, because we did say, I feel like the way you got to play against Shrug here is you've just got to take early gunfights. You can't let them bring this utility to bear against you, because you're not going to survive very long against 10 nades.
Well, the alibis are revealing things and the Mozzies are stealing things as they find themselves creeping closer and closer. Mexicans trying to hold the long angle, but is increasingly concerned about the runouts, because so far they haven't really been able to pin down any of the EG players. The grenade goes wrong and he survives, but what a moment and a scream that would have been down the comms. In the meantime, 2 bodies dropped, and there's Finker in point, but there's another 2 bodies. These 2 both in the favor of EG. Now it's only 2 left in the hands of Shrug, but they find another one back on their favor. Just the Glaz and the Sledge's sledge disappears, and now it's just the Glaz on the top against 3, including a Legion and a Smoke. So this is not an easy final push.
I like the strategy from EG, who's like throwing out smokes to try and push these Finker buffed attackers into direct corners and then just fragging out on them. Young especially doing a decent amount of work around cool vibes, but it's all going to be down to Mexican, as you did say, up on the glass and up on the roof to see what he can do. He's actually got a lot of time to work with here, and he's going to go for the same nade that Wrath went for, and it's not going to be successful for him as it bounces off. That's 2 nades that are bounced off that vents now. He's going to go for the 360 as he drops down, but is unable to find the kill just yet. Now in a 1v3 still, however, to try and push in. He's actually got still plenty of time to work with, as well as that PMM in his back pocket if he did need it. Definitely one of the powerful pistols. He's still going for 360s as well.
As I said, they've been practicing in Call of Duty this week, and it's, well, it's coming out so far. Trying to get together the highlight reel so Mom can get the camera, but can't quite find any of the bodies yet, and EG aren't letting him get his moment on YouTube. And now it's just a matter of trying to lock down angles, lock down sides, lock down covers, and, well, with 50 seconds on Glaz, you have all the world and all the options to find a rotation, but he's really desperate to find a body before he does anything, and EG just aren't going to hand it to him. They've said, you wanted the high pace, you wanted the fast power, well, we're not going to let you do that now.
No, not at all. And that timer has started to very much tick down. Mexican's definitely running out of it now. He needs to get into the site. He needs to make a play. And EG are just waiting for him to do something. He goes in. He takes one down, but instantly does get traded out by Modega. And it's going to be Evil Geniuses to take round number 2 and keep us all tied up at 1 apiece. Every round that EG can find here is just going to benefit them so much as they move up onto that attack in the next half. Because, don't get me wrong, with the Jaeger ban, this is going to be very attacker-sided, and I kind of like how EG are playing this now with the smoke.
You've got to think as well, like, how many close entrance points are in. So, say, like, if you look across the board, every single point has an immediate jump-in window. Every single place has at least 1, if not sometimes 2, of these instant entrances. Service point obviously has service door, and then in the meantime, you've got kitchen window. And you've got all the stuff above as well. Cool Vibes below, Cool Vibes, even Blue Bar and Sunrise have obviously Blue Bar and Sunrise.
Bit of a surprise from Flynn there to bring the IQ. So the first non-nade operator we've seen from Shrug today.
Did used to have nades. True. So maybe they're going to go through the classic nade operators as well.
Right.
Or Flynn's just not been told.
Oh.
You know, where's my grenades?
That is true.
Flynn, ages ago, Flynn. He's going to jump to Thermite next.
Yeah.
What? Where's my Thermite grenades? How am I supposed to fragmite?
You're just making me miss Thermite and IQ nades now.
Oh, do you remember how nightmarish that was for everyone else?
I just remember how ridiculous it was.
It was amazing.
We're going to move into round number 3 and see exactly what EG want to do here, but more or less running the kind of same lineup they were last time. However, there have been a bit of operator swap-ups as Young has moved off the Maestro this time. It's going to be MVK on the Legion. I think they're just going to be holding majority upstairs because, yeah, if they lose control of this upstairs with the amount of soft destruction that Shrug are bringing, they're not going to win. So they definitely need to put a lot of people in the upstairs area and a lot of utility there as well. That is just poor coordination right there.
Yeah, that's a little bit heartbreaking, isn't it? You knew what you wanted to do, and unfortunately someone else had decided to cut him off in the meantime. Geo was like, no, I want to hide behind this wall, and 2 drones pass over the head of Geo, so you only assume with the 8 grenades still on the board, and no Jaeger, it's surely only a matter of time before they start applying the pressure there.
I think this is also just kind of proving that EG aren't running like their full new strats right now for this match. With the fact that you have miscoordination like that going on, but we'll have a look at what exactly Shrug do want to do moving into this, but Shrug is going to kick things off with a kill onto himself, a bit of a martyrdom.
Is that the first grenade kill of the game so far?
I think so.
And it was a suicide.
Yes. And also another opening death for the Cloudstruck as well. Not great for him. Wrath, however, is going to pick up 1 kill, and Nugs with another as well onto Young. And things actually looking more into the favor of Shrug recently. However, they've lost their Thinker, which actually might not be too bad, because this smoke has definitely put a big dent in Shrug's attacks when the Thinker buff has been active.
Well, Glaz is trying to find a bullet hole to send people to bullet hell, and in the meantime, Necrox has found Flynn and dropped him out of the equation yet again. The IQ off the table, but she was a little bit out of the depth, surrounded by all the grenades that has otherwise been Shrug's MO. Mexican's joining out the far side, and with a minute 20, still plenty of time, but probably doesn't want to be the last one left alive yet again, because entry Glaz, yes, it's got the buff, but it's not quite what it once was.
There's still Modiga up onto the cool vibes as well to stop Mexican from trying to do any kind of entry. Smokes are going to go out as well. Wrath's surely going to get damaged by this, but still going to go for the prone angle. Going to get damaged a little bit. The shotgun goes out. There goes 1 for Necrox, and might be able to pick up another one here. He does! There's a triple kill on the board for Necrox. And it's all down to Mexican to try and bring this in right now in a 1v3. He finds his way into the kitchen, but not able to do too much just yet. 50 seconds left to go on the clock. Goes for the peak, gets shut down instantly from the other side as Modiga picks him up. And it's going to be Evil Geniuses who close out round number 3. Things so far looking very good for them on here on Coastline.
I mean, Shrug are having a good time with it. I think that's fair to say. They really want to get through this game as quickly as possible. And I'm curious to see if they opt for slightly different tactics, because they're thinking about it this time. They haven't insta-locked onto the grenade operators. The Glaz is coming through so far, but otherwise they're steadily okay, here come all the grenade operators again.
Cloudstruck and Flynn, I think, okay, so another classic nade operator coming out from Cloudstruck, but this time Flynn going to pick up the Zofia. I think the Zofia is a good entry here. I really just don't think that, I mean, on paper, the nade strategy really ought to be working here, but it just hasn't at all. And I think Shrug now need to start realizing that they're not going to be winning rounds if they just bring full nades. And as I say that, Flynn brings yet another nade operator. So yeah, I guess they've abandoned all that kind of strategy. Capital is a welcome addition into this lineup, however. And you could say kind of also a nade himself.
I think they've realized, and yes, very much so, he is like a slow burn frag grenade. He's a Molotov.
Yeah, sure.
Duh.
Sure.
And I think they've realized that the Thinker isn't working against Necrox's smoke. As we already saw on the previous map with the target ban and what Necrox can do on a smoke, it's a very scary smoke to go up against. So why play into Necrox's favor? Go from target banning a man to literally picking the operator that is worst against him. I think even they've gone, this is too silly a strategy.
Also, Shrug had a lot of success with Capital on Clubhouse as well. Like Cloudstruck was able to pick up a number of kills on him. In the M249 spray, he was getting a lot of entry frags just purely with a gun. So I think like the Capital is just a great pickup for Shrug here. So we'll have a look at how that's going to be moving through and what EG want to do about this. But if I'm Shrug and I'm losing attacking rounds in this situation, I'm not having a good time, and I'm sweating thinking about what's going to happen as I move on to the defense. So,
yeah, because every moment is like, haha, guys, we're bringing loads of grenades. And it's like, uh-oh, Evil Geniuses get to do this very soon.
They can do that as well, yeah.
And now they've got a 2-round berth to enjoy it when, you know, things have gone their kind of way. So I guess we'll see if Shrug can put more of these rounds in their pocket because they will desperately need them.
Also, with the Jaeger ban as well, it has left Mirror up on the board, and we do see that now coming out from Geo. And Mirror just makes coastline so much easier for the defense. So there's a little bit of a mixed bag here. And Smokes are going to go out very, very early from Necrox here onto that pool entrance. As nades are going to go out. Necrox is actually going to be avoiding them, however, as more nades are going to be going out. Just cooked up a little bit as they move in their way into sight. But Shrug has not been very effective with these nades recently. One onto the back of the Sunrise Bar, however, is going to go out, and that is going to be the first actual nade kill as Raptors find Necrox, and that is the smoke off the board. That is a very important pick, but Young going to wide peek out, takes down Raptors as he moves in. Geo finds one of his own, Cloudstruck goes down, the spray comes out from Young to try and find more. Cloudstruck's Claymore finds NVK on the run out, and Nitro goes out, and that's going to find Mexican through the smoke from Senpai Geo. As Nugs moves in, he moves in behind the Sunrise Bar, and Young is going to go down. Nugs has a lot of control right now, but Geo shuts it down as Flynn removed from the board as Modiga comes through from the flank. He takes down Nugs in the refrag, and Evil G into second number 4. A very frag-heavy round, but ultimately into the favor of EG.
First successful grenade kill on the other side. As far as the par and the golf score goes, in terms, it's literally just throwing things and hearing the and then an explosion afterwards. And I'd love to see it. Geo bringing the clash this time, potentially going to try and rebuff some of these rocks being thrown. And otherwise, we're going to rotate back up to Hookah. That was 1 loss, 1 win in terms of EG. Expecting what they are seeing this time around. And, well, there's a familiar kind of lineup coming in the favor of Shrug. Still going to play without the Thinker, and that's still a very good move. But Clash is actually going to swap off to Alibi, not completely locked in here as Zafir.
Ah, no, but that's good. That's really good from EG with the 6-pick strategy. Like, yeah, I actually really like the Clash here, just going into that really heavy naval lineup, as you did say. Like, that's a really good pick. And that's kind of like EG's pickup there, and Shrug would be like, oh, they're going to bring a Clash, let's bring a Zofia instead. Therefore, taking the nades away from the lineup, and EG this time are just going to bring the Alibi instead. So moving into round number 5, a really nice 6-pick strategy coming out from EG has put themselves at a little bit more of an advantage going into this round. This nade strategy just has not worked for Shrug at all. We've only seen 1 successful nade kill come out from them. And then we also had that suicide from Cloudstruck. So
how often do you think they ran it as a warm-up? Do you think it's ever been ran before?
I don't think so. It does not seem like a well built up strategy, but
I think this is them having a fun time.
I can appreciate the theory.
I know, I get that. I get that you can. There's an idea there, but again, I think this is them just having a fun time on this map. They're like, you know, it's a big tournament to look forward to. They want to try and bring something a bit off the beaten path. And against other teams, it might have been more successful. But EG, as we said, their best player is their coordination. And this is the kind of, if you are looking at this from a purely tactical viewpoint of the nightmare as the lockdown of angles, well, this is a way that can be locked down pretty quickly, especially when some of Shrug's best work has come on their gunplay attacking.
Yeah, it has been. They've definitely been able to do the entry just purely from just peeking and fragging out. But you could also argue that EG has to play this aggressively because if the nades keep coming down, they're going to get caught out by them. They can't just hide and just wait. They have to play aggressively here. So you could argue like they have to peek, but as we talk about it, Geo goes for the peek and gets taken down pretty much instantly. He's going to be injured, but not down just yet. As EG not looking too good right now, as that Aquarium take is coming out from Shrug. Maybe they have smokes up on the table again here, but no. Mexican finds the crawling Geo.
Let the man crawl in front of his friend before he put him out of his misery. Cloud finds NVK, attempting something wide on the DJ side, and then there's the wide swing from Young that gets dropped by Rats as well. Still expecting the aggression, but playing a bit into it now. Necrox and Modiga find 1 apiece, bringing themselves back to a little bit of balance, and the pops are going out inside the smoke of the Glaz that are trying to sit pretty and find bodies. But in the meantime, the rotation comes in through onto Hookah, and Necrox's space and play area is getting smaller and smaller with 2 on one shoulder and 1 on the other. This is a big swing and a big chance, and he throws it down, but the wide ping comes out and he gets dropped and taken out. It's just the 1 body left, I say, as Shrug shuts that down as well, bringing themselves to a 3-2 split with a bit of a slower pace.
So they're bringing smokes now on Mexican rather than the frag grenades, and I think that's definitely a very, very welcome change from Shrug there. then this is exactly what they did indeed need here. And it has gone definitely better for them. They desperately need this round, however, because if they don't, I have a big fear about how EG is just going to completely roll over them. Not just because they could go for frag grenade strategy as well, but I don't think EG is going to do that. But just because, like, with no Jaeger, it's going to be so easy for them to get really quick control over the site with just, like, a standard execute with smokes and stuff. So I think Shrug has kind of realized that this is how you're supposed to play this map with the Jaeger ban, and not just rely solely on nades. Ooh, I didn't expect that. Safe pick from Mexican comes through. Wondering what... No, okay. I was really hoping for some sort of, like, really cool...
Let me be real with you.
Okay.
I love that you're breaking this down from a tactical point of view, and I love that you're giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
This is from my layman's point of view. Right. They wanted to just bring frag grenades and have a destructive time.
But also, right, even teams that think they have no strategy still have strategy. There is still a
sounds
method
like
to the chaos.
You're trying to read words.
Yes.
In someone's spaghetti letters. You know, like...
But spaghetti letters do form words.
Yeah.
You know?
But you shouldn't... You know, you're reading the tea leaves here.
Yes.
While Shrug are just trying to enjoy a cup of tea.
Yes.
And yeah, I appreciate it. And hey, maybe they are trying 5,000 IQ, 10 grenades, swap to play, swap it off, bring it back in, bring it round, turn the whole meta play space upside down. I think they just want to sprinkle loads of grenades. Anyway, they push in now against the hookah side, and they're starting to try and get control of the balcony. Again, a slightly slower pace from Shrug this time round. They've opted to go back to the frags from in and amongst the smokes and not going to go for the aggression that they had before. Still have the IQ to get the information in the spots, but in the possibility of getting themselves to a 3-3 split, they are playing, well, with a little bit less pace than we've otherwise seen.
Also, Jones coming out from Shrug here, making sure there's no kind of heavy downstairs hold coming out from EG here, but there is a little bit of presence downstairs from them, it looks like. But it's going to be more aside of that kind of kitchen area. It looks like Clash could be throwing nades into the site to try and clear the barbed wire and the barricade and lots of other stuff as well. As Geo now recognizing that it's going to be sneaking his way back into sight. NVK holding down downstairs. Nades are going to go out to try and draw him out of that position, but still unable to find the kill on him just yet. But as I say that, Wrath is going to pick up that opening frag onto NVK from below. That is a Nitro off the board, and that is looking really nice for Shrug right now. Oh my god, Wrath! What a kill from him as he picks up another one, jumps in to try and capitalize on that control, but is taken off the board by Mo Digger.
Well, Young has a little bit more work to do here, but they've at least reclaimed underneath, and they have that possibility and still have a C4 in hand. The Legion is just going to try and hold down the corridor. In the meantime, there's a bit of pressure coming from the Aqua side. One doubled up on the far side of Luggage as well, as they're just going to try and stem the roll and stem the flow. Necrox has the smokes, has the canisters, and has the ability to be able to stop the push, but with a minute on, we're still seeing Shrug set themselves up. They have all of their bodies on the Aqua side, and the first of the canisters goes down. A pre-placed C4 is going to be the attempt at the bait and switch, but in the meantime, Flynn is the one carrying the diffuser. They've got to find a way to get it to floor. Past the window, and there is the frag, and that could be a very, very big one indeed. Mexican drops Mo Digger, and Flynn drops Necrox, and there Young finds one and swings in, but it's a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, Young going to be trying to push down onto Coolvice to see what he can do. He does actually manage to find one onto Nugs, and he's now in a 2v1 with it all to do. The Logic Bomb still going through, but his phone finally gets put down. He's going to find himself in a 2v1 here. Plan's going to start to go down, but it wasn't meant to be. As Shrug take round number 6, and yes, now we get to see how EG want to play this with the Jaeger ban.
10 grenades. Bring it in.
It really could be, honestly. I'm very interested to see what the lineup here from EG is, because while I don't think that they want to do the 10 nade strategy here, we may see more nades coming out from EG than they otherwise normally would have wrought.
I mean, the thing about Jaeger being off the board opens up some possibilities that would otherwise be impossibilities. There is already a huge amount of frag grenades there, more than we've seen from them usually, if we're assuming that KB and Buck both have them. There was originally another one on the board. So
could be Sledge from MVK6, but you're thinking here?
Exactly. because they were on there and then swapped off, so could swap back around. In the meantime, look at those big guns in the hands of Shrug.
I actually like a lion pick here. I don't know if you remember, but the Liquid game we had yesterday during the LATAM.
Attackers need to
Yep.
locate and defuse
Not
the
yesterday,
bomb.
the day before. My last cast day.
Your last caster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was EU yesterday. So, and generally when Liquid play this map, they generally play quite a lot of Lion here. They sit on the it's like courtyard roof, looking down, and they just
Attackers
have
discovered the location of a bomb.
their IGL just hold that whole angle down, press the button, and they just call the push.
Yeah.
And it works quite well. I actually really like a Lion pusher. So I know that EG had really successful Lion pushes on Consulate as well, but I think it's also a very, very valid strategy to bring here on Coastline, combined also with the nade strategy that could come through. They do have Zofia on the board here as well, as a couple sets of nades coming out from the Dokkan. So
Attackers are heading
things
out
go
to
really,
defuse
really
the
well
bomb.
here for EG. I actually much prefer this lineup to what Shrug were bringing.
Well, they're setting themselves up again with the external alibis being as aggressive as we kind of expected them to be. They're trying to treat this as a big old match of ranked, and so far on a 3-3 split, it's working so far. But can they go the distance on their defenses? Holding the ACOGs, holding the angles as the first calls go off, and that's going to at least stem a little bit of the flow. But it seems like EG are waiting for the runouts. They know it's going to happen. They've seen the Prisma be thrown. They're not going to drop their lives to this firefight as the first E1D pops off, and so does the ensuing gunfire, but no victims as of yet.
EG using this time to just get the control that they need and get set up, but the peaks are going to come out. Flynn taking a little bit of damage all the way from Ruins here, from Geo, as everything just starts to get opened up. We do see Necrox kind of duel it out a little bit downstairs, very aggressively from the Alibi, however, and it is going to be the first kill of the round going into Nugs' favor. Necrox going to go down. Geo looking to try and trade this out onto security. NVK coming through from the other side of security, waiting for this rotate as well. Nugs is about to meet him right now. He's going to be pushing all the way through, but no, is going to get taken down. NVK is going to win that gunfight. Nugs goes down, and we find ourselves in a 4v4 situation. EG should be pretty happy with this control right now, because now they've eliminated the roamers, now they've got that downstairs control, they've eliminated the threat of any kind of C4s, kind of putting up a mix into their plans, and now they've got to do the work onto the site itself. They haven't brought any smokes though, which is, I think, kind of a mistake maybe. Shrug had some pretty successful smoke pushes here.
Well, they're still setting themselves up to keep an idea of control, and they've also lost a bit of the verticality that they could have bought with Buck when he was 6th picked off as well. So they've kind of limited themselves to the standard flat push as they creep their way up the opposite sides, and Modigger is going to use the E1D to try and drop a Maestro. That's otherwise been a big problem for them. Swings at the last second, doubting their aim, and Flynn is able to find one and use the big barrels as Wrath doubles down and drops the body. In the meantime, there is Geo on the main billiards window, dropping one, being caught on either side, but Shrug put themselves one round up 4-3.
What is happening right now? We are a Coastline, we have a Jaeger ban on the board, we have one of the, well, I mean, standings-wise, the worst Challenger League team.
Yep.
Against Evil Geniuses, who finished 3rd in Pro League by a very slim margin.
The margin was round points. It was
Yep.
dead on points.
And they are losing right now. This is not good. This is not good. But I actually like the overall strategy that Shrug has taken to this series, and that you are not going to beat EG at their own game. You're not going to try and do some strategic ban. You're going to play this normally. No, it's not going to work. Throw weird bans out there. Throw a smoke ban out there. Throw a Jaeger ban out there. Play stupidly aggressively. Try and get into the site as quickly as possible, and just contest them at every kind of move. You might have a chance of bringing this in.
It's a story for the ages. It's an inspiration story for those teams where, if you look at your David and Goliath matchup, you look at this story, you just ban out Jaeger, bring 10 nades.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if you can still, if Shrug can make this just a very frustrating game for EG to try and win, I think they can come away with that for the pretty success, even if they don't win.
The thing about NA as a region is when CL teams ruin the run of Pro League teams in these tournaments, as we saw happen to TSM not too long ago.
Yes.
For them, like, they've won the tournament at that point because they've ruined the time of a Pro League team because they're all friends generally across the board, so it's funny. And I get that kind of vibe, and that's entirely what is powering Shrug through this matchup so far. 4-3, they find themselves leaning into, well, one less ACOG, but more one Roma in the hands of Wraths, who's going to try and just cause some shenanigans. They have the double down of information with the Valk and the Maestro yet again, and we're about to see an Alibi find her way to the DJ balcony.
So, default cams are going to be removed, and Nugs is actually going to go for the spawn peak, but Mexican spawn peak on the other side is going to be the one that is successful. NVK already off the board. And that is the Lion already off the board. That is a huge pick from Shrug coming out, because that is kind of the main part of EG's strategy here.
Well, Rats is on the roam and waiting to see if they can find anyone on the office side. As you said, Lion, a big part of the strategy, and has been pretty integral to the 1-2 system that they've ran with so far. And without that on the board, they're going to find themselves in a bit more of a tight spot. Mexican knows the one has entered and just takes care of Young. Pushes into the body and is going to try and pre-fire now against the second man in. Knows that at least one more body has taken a mantle as Geo suffers from the far side, but needs to keep pushing and close down against Mexican, and now takes control of point. They're inside. They've almost got the diffuser there too, but Necrox is exceptionally low as well.
Oh, what an angle from Cloudstruck all the way from Blacktop. He is going to be able to find Mo Digger, and that's the plant down as well. Another one for Cloudstruck as Geo goes down with him. And it's all down to Necrox on 1 HP in a dream to try and make this happen, but he's going to go down. Shrug take round number 8, and they're a couple of rounds away from eliminating Evil Geniuses from the tournament at the very first step. Fluke, what is happening right now? Are Shrug going to take this series?
We're in the upside down. Jaeger Ashban.
It feels like it.
Jaeger Ashban has completely taken this game aside. And as you said, you don't want to take EG to their game. That is how you can try and beat them as a team, which is up against a giant. And apparently the best way to do that is to take them out of Comp Siege.
There are two possibilities here. Shrug has either done the best VOD review of their entire lives on how EG play Coastline and have decided that Ash and Jaeger are the two critical operators to take it off the board from EG, or they're just wanting to play ranked and it's just working.
Locate and defuse bombs.
I want to play Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, Shrug are a couple of rounds away from bringing this in, and it seems pretty likely, honestly, they're going to be able to do so. EG have abandoned their Lion strategy now, and instead NVK is going to be bringing the Twitch. And this is very awkward for EG right now, because they cannot afford another round, because overtime, that might not end too well. I think, so whoever gets the most rounds across the series so far is the one who gets to decide what side they start on. So EG is currently up in rounds overall, excluding this map, so they got to pick sides on Coastline, so they, I assume, picked defense. So that means that Shrug gets to pick the side they go in OT, which I assume would also be defense. And the way that Shrug have been playing on defense so far, if this goes to OT, I think they're going to be able to take it, honestly.
I mean, of all the games, you expected this to be the least balanced of the night. And you expected it generally to be the least chaotic as well, because both these teams, this is generally what and all they have to play for.
We still got Space Station versus Adventure Force coming up as well, that may be just equally as chaotic as this.
And that's the thing, and then we've also got a Bay versus BDE, and a Bay have a big game tomorrow for the playoffs against Sonics for Pro League, so, you know, how much they're going to be throwing towards this game, and whether it's just going to be, well, this all night is a very real possibility, and I'm kind of weirdly excited about that. Here comes the pressure from EG. They're closing down methodically against the point as Mexican is going to prep himself for another run out. Necrox, for the first time in a while, puts the frags in, and there is Twitch, making sure the Doctor is out as they start to close down from the opposite side. Sees the head, but MVK can't quite make the bullets land.
Yeah, not quite just yet. Flynn is getting droned out here as well as Logic Bomb has been deployed. As NVK picks up one more up on the board. Flynn trying to be aggressive as possible. Modigger does go down and Nugs is going to back him up here as well as he takes NVK down. Young, however, is got into the site and he's going to try and plant the diffuser down. Flynn playing it very aggressively to try and shut this down. However, not able to peek it out. Geo takes him down and Nugs is not able to do anything as Geo takes both of them down and Evil Geniuses finally find their first attack round. Can they bring it back?
5-4, and every Evil Genius fan in the world takes a big sigh of relief as they find themselves only one round down in a game that has been, well, there's not too many words that can describe this game because it's rarely seen. Hookah is where we're going to swing to next, back the rotation of points, and I guess we'll see if they can make it work as well as they did before, because what Shrug did was they held EG completely out of the building. A mix of spawn peaks and holding angles with big guns and just kind of setting up, setting down and saying, try me, approach me. Well, it worked very well, and I guess we'll see if EG can find another route round.
I love the addition of Nomad into this lineup coming out from Geo as well. I think this is definitely a very necessary loadout coming out from them, considering how many members of Shrug just spent the entire round outside during that particular round. We see a lot of runouts coming out from them across the board, and we'll head into round number 10. But overall, EG looking a lot better on that round than they had been previously.
Well, setting themselves up here, they've obviously still got 3 ACOGs on the board. They have the same information they had before. They didn't need to change anything from this point. It worked pretty effectively for them previously, and EG are the ones that are on the back foot and the ones that need to have a little bit more control of the chaos that is ensuing, because Shrug are thriving in it. As you said, Nomad is a good pickup at this point. It limits all the craziness to very certain locations and allows them to actually have some reaction time to what Shrug are doing, and as we said, time plays well into EG's favor. It allows them the breathe at the moment and the ability to set themselves up to counter, to kill, and then to collapse onto the point. Alibis are going out the door yet again as they find themselves baiting and waiting for the push, and there's the drone, early information as, yep, that's just going to throw the bait, slow the roll, and allow them a bit of breathing room.
Now, Nugs, this didn't exactly work for him last time, and I guess we'll see how it does go this time, but I'm not too happy about this strategy. Nugs is still going to be playing very aggressive around the pool entrance. He has got that opposite window that is, of course, able to be wall banged, but I'm thinking he's hoping that the alibi is going to get shot, but no, it's going to get shot out, and now Nugs is kind of between a rock and a hard place right now, but he's just going to go for the peak, and Logic Bomb is going to go out, however, and Nugs is just going to retreat all the way out of there. Cloudstruck, however, has managed to find quite a lot of damage on himself. No healing coming up from Mexican just yet.
Well, that's, again, this is EG punishing them. They're weighing up the defense of Shrug. They've kind of gone, we've cracked the riddle, we're going to hold you at arm's length, and then from this point onwards, we're going to be able to shut everything else down. Slow and steady is their MO, and, well, for the first time, they've been able to keep the control of the defenders and allow themselves the room to practice it. They still have a fair bit of work to do, but they still have plenty of time. 1:45, and MVK is going to at least finally get the opening. Frag takes half health damage, but Rook has found himself half back up with the second call going out to try and bait more. Geo across the top finds one, and they're still trying to find the refrag, but pulls back just in time. Little pinches, little pincers to be able to pull out the operators as the grenades start to rain down.
Yeah, Flynn going to go for the Y peak as well as Wrath peeking him up as well. So we'll see kind of double peak strategy again coming out from Shrug, but Cloudstruck going to take one off the board, doesn't find another, however, as NVK will find him in return. It's all down to Wrath and Flynn to try and bring this in, but EG looking very good to take it right now as Wrath and Flynn both get taken off the board by Necrox with a long peak, and Evil Geniuses will take round number 10, and they'll even us up at 5 apiece right now. EG definitely picking up the pieces right now, but I honestly think that if Shrug take one of these next 2 rounds, they will take the series.
Well, at this point, I don't really know what to believe. So I guess we'll just have to see. They were close. They had the 2-round berth. They've proven with the 4 in a row that they got that they can be continual with the pressure, and they're going to opt for Kitchen again, a point that they took pretty well previously. However, they'll be potentially expected to come here, and I guess we'll see again if EG can keep up their well-played response game. Because so far, they've been able to piece together how this is falling apart. They've been able to find the holes and get ways of closing them down. NVK on the Twitch which we've commented a couple of times throughout this entire playday, is that it can be a very good fragging operator. And whether that's the swap in for the work that he was doing previous map on Ash or not, well, we found 2 bodies in the previous round sneaking around. Maybe that is the swing that they needed.
Yeah, MVK's done pretty good on it so far. We'll have a look at if he continues to do so. As we move to round number 11, and we'll go back to a kitchen service entrance defense here coming out from Shrug. A little bit of a change up in strategy from them, however, as they brought Vigil here now. We'll have a look exactly what they want to do here, but it seems like, again, peek everything, be aggressive kind of strategy. However, I think EG kind of clocked onto this now, and that they know how to kind of play against this, that they brought the IQ, they brought the Nomad as well. And, you know, kind of like, you know, looking at the series kind of reminds me of, like, EG generally do not play well against teams who want to try and do this, but this EG, this iteration of them, seems to have adapted a lot better. Like, looking back at when they lost against Fnatic during the last Pro League finals as well, things just didn't go well for them on that side, and, well, it seems that EG's kind of got their act together now, but there's still a couple of rounds up on the board here for Shrug to try and bring this in, and this is looking pretty good for Shrug still, I think.
All the pre-fires against the window, and there's the one that gets the mark. Doc taken out almost instantly. Mo Digger finds Mexican, and Wrath finds NVK as the calls are going in, and it was a run out in and amongst the Decabi call, but Vigil finds his way to freedom and is waiting for a collapse down, and is just going to try and hold the angle and let the call ring true. In the meantime, again, EG, they're taking their time with this. They've set all up along that northern side, and they're ready to try and take a flat bit of pressure. They're trusting in the kind of loose aggression of Shrug at this point, and they're going to use that as a room-by-room, clear-by-clear basis, which again, as you said, plays into their pace, plays into their favor, and they're more than happy to find this angle. Not 100% sure what Young attempted there, but Flynn was more than able to take advantage of that, and Wrath finds a double, dropping Mo Digger and bringing this to a 4-2.
Yeah, this is not looking good for EG at all. Geo and Necroc still up on the board. However, Diffuser is now down just outside of Sunrise. And I think for Young, there was just a bit of mistiming there from him. He brought out his impacts to take the Maestro Cam off the board deep into where the sinks are. And as he did it, Flynn took him out. So not looking too good now for EG. But they definitely have the ability to bring this in now. They just need to drone out and re-secure this Diffuser. Geo is going to try and do that right now. And he moves into Sunrise, slowly crouch walking his way in. Wrath is looking for him, however. He's going to be protecting it as from above. Nugs is going to be there. He's going to be able to open up the hatch, and Geo, just from 3 different places he has to look out, is going to get found out by Flynn this time. It's going to be all down to Necrox to try and bring this in. He's got a minute left to play with, and he's got 2 frag grenades in a situation where Jaeger's band does definitely could be very, very powerful. You see someone through the floorboards, however, and with the wall bang, well, the floor bang, I should say, from Wrath. Well, no, it actually was with wall bang from Wrath. Wow.
Wow. We get to see if this comes true for Shrug. They're on match point. They cannot return there.
Oh, God. Match and series point as well, don't forget.
Yep, they have Hookah on board. They have Blue Bar if they want to take it again, but it wasn't their best, so probably should opt for what worked, and they are. I mean, it's a tough position to be in from their point. Yes, they've been having a very, very fun time with this, and yes, they've been playing a play style that is as aggressive as it is passionate, and it is, well, highlight reel worthy. But at the same time, when you are on this position after all of that, and you're against a team like EG, well, that's when things can start to get a little bit claustrophobic and a little bit choked up. They're bringing some ACOGs, they're bringing Mozzie and Valk on the duo of information as well, and they're going to try and keep it with a little bit less aggressive panache than previously, all locked in, all ready to go. In the meantime, EG bringing the same lineup they went for before, I say, as Doc is 6th pick to
Doc.
Doc.
I feel like he's doing it on purpose now. Like, he's trying to bait us into saying that he's going to do something smart. But no, that's the 2nd time he's done that now.
Wait,
he's
that's not
6th
smart?
picked. He's 6th picked, and he's gone into the same operator.
Yeah, and you're saying that's not a smart play?
I just think it's a waste of a 6th pick.
I don't know, I think it's real, because
he's doing it on purpose.
They have no idea that you 6th pick from a Doc to a Doc. The other team just does not know this.
That's true, that's true.
So it's all psychological.
Right.
It's all games.
Shrug
you know?
definitely have been playing the psychological aspect of this game.
against EG.
I honestly
against
think that
us, against chat.
this is how you need to play against EG right now. Like, you need to be dumb, you need to be aggressive. You're not going to beat them at their own game. So you may as well just try and tilt them off the face of the earth, and it seems to be working so far. Shrug put themselves onto match and series point. And they're going to go, again, just for the aggressive spawn peaks. Mexican didn't manage to quite hit it correctly, however. There's a bit of a panel still open. And Nugs is going to leave the game. I'm assuming they're going to call for a rehost.
Well, that could be a very, very unfortunate moment to lose Nugs then and there. And then for the run out to not work as well. Because, well, I guess we'll see if that was a saving grace or not. But EG have all the wind in their favor right now. Can they capitalize upon it? Cloud and Wrath both underneath. Nugs has at least returned, so can offer a little bit of camera assistance. But outside of that, his gun is off the table.
So, this is looking pretty poor for Shrug right now, but obviously even if EG can bring this to overtime, I feel like Shrug is at a massive advantage regardless. We don't know, well, I don't know what they've chosen on OT just yet, but I'm going to assume they chose to go to defense. So, things are looking good for EG to bring us to overtime, at least. Now in a 4v5, of course, and still with a decent amount of utility up themselves, they're going to start gaining that control. It's like mostly an aquarium side push, but honestly, I say like, oh, it's going to be this push, it's going to be that push. It just seems like they're going to try and do a push, and then everyone's just going to beat them from Shrug.
Well, they are slow and steady. That's a fair shout, as we've said many times. And at the same time, Shrug are trying to keep themselves alive and active, trying to keep the control of the angles that have been monumental for them on this point before. And otherwise, wait for EG to appear, because for now, they're being as secretive as they can. There's the ping, there's the toss, but just in the wrong order and can't quite find the body above. Someone else here, however, has the shoulder cover, and Mexican takes care of Young the drone hole. Coming in clutch, Flynn sees a body on the top of the billiards window, but in the meantime another call comes down and Mexican is just going to pull off slightly. And VK is trying to hold a deep angle from VIP, but with Rats underneath and the amounting pressure, he's going to respond with some pressure of his own. Cloud is there to double up if need be, but EG need to start doing something fast.
That's diffuser down as well, behind the aquarium bar. That's not an easy retake to try and do. As Necrox is going to learn shortly. Drones are going to go out in heavy amounts as EG still trying to regain this control. Nades are going to go out just below with a Nitro pre-plays from Cloudstruck. Takes Necrox off the board as he tries to recover the diffuser. And EG are running out of time right now. MVK just find Mexican, however. Wrath is still below. He doesn't have a Nitro, however, he's going to have to try and retake the site. Diffuser, however, is still down. Cloudstruck is still holding on to it right now as well, as we've got Wrath below and Cloudstruck below also to try and hold on to this diffuser. It's going to get napped, however, the quick dine and dash coming out from MVK is going to find that diffuser, and they're going to plant up onto the hole instead. Maybe a Nitro coming out, but no, it's not going to be available at all. They're going to find the one running down Cool Vibes. It's going to be Pappy Geo. It's now going to be a 2v2. All down to Cloudstruck and Wrath to try and bring this in. Diffuser has gone down and it is going to start to tick away, but no, it's going to be the double kill coming out right there from Mo Digger to try and bring it in for Evil Geniuses as we're going to overtime and outside a map of Coastline. Oh my god, almost a complete throw from EG around that diffuser.
I can't believe it got that close. The pre-play C4 was a work of genius, and then unfortunately they let it slip the second time round. They just kind of saw the man run up and then let him keep running and then went, oh no, wait, I'm supposed to shoot him. But it is seen that EG want to start on the defense. Could play very much in their favor. Let's see what Shrug do, I guess, is the fair question at this point. Because obviously, well, it's been a while since they're on the defense, and they might have kind of not expected to find themselves in this situation. Currently, looking at a lot of grenades.
So Shrug opted to start attack during their OT, which is interesting.
Guess we'll see if it works. Has been kind of been the MO of this game. I think it's a sit back, watch, and see how many grenades find their mark. So far, not as many. I think more C4 kills have actually come through this game.
Yeah, we've seen quite a lot of C4 kills.
It depends if you count suicides.
That is true. I still think even then we've seen more C4 kills overall, but moving now into round number 13, our first round outside of regulation. It is going to be overtime, and the first time we've hit overtime during this series and during the day as well.
Yep, so let's see if they can make it count. Shrug on the precipice of greatness. EG on the precipice of falling foul of 10 grenades. And, well, this is their time to at least swing it back in their favor. Unfortunately, obviously, Shrug lost a man in the previous possible time. But, hey, you're back, you're full strength. Try and make it work. Couple of ACOGs and a fair bit of information on the side of EG as they set themselves up for the kitchen hold with the mirror to hold the long angle. It's a fair pick for them because, well, it was they only played it once in the first swing of things, and it was technically because of that an 100% successful defense. They didn't have to try it again, and it was a pretty convincing one when we saw them swing it around previously, but I guess it's down to how Shrug respond. No waste of pace here as they're going to try and grenade out the man behind the bar, and nothing bites apart from a little bit of damage against Mo Digger, but he's able to rotate and get out of there and keep his life in one piece.
Yeah, he's actually been able to find his way up into cool vibes. Last time he didn't actually get droned out here, and he's able to cut off that Sunrise approach of attack. Mets going to be droning out all of this off his side. And you should be happy that this is all good right now, as Wrath has managed to take control of Sunrise. There's actually a lot of control right here for Shrug, and they could definitely go for something sooner rather than later. You see one is playing above up in VIP, I believe that is Mo Digger. He's still kicking, he's still doing stuff, but he's starting to take a lot of damage for it. Mexican is going to be droning it all out, and he's going to know that he could push through CC and cut off the rotate. Hopefully he's caught out to Wrath as well, but there is someone courtyard, as Wrath himself is going to start to move it up and look into Billy and see what's happening there, as well as Nugs helping him out here. Mo Digger got to be very afraid of what's happening now as he rotates all the way through onto luggage, it looks like.
Well, a minute 30 and he finds Takebi from behind and he's able to quickly spin round, drop the C4, expects the pace, and Mexican finds Young on Lambo door. Suddenly everything has started to kick into gear as the control of certain parts of the map have shifted one way or the other. In the meantime, Wraths is still trying to close down with Nugs, and with a minute 10 on, they've got to try and do this sooner rather than later. Because if they leave that man up there, well, it's going to prove a nightmare, and they attempted to close down later. Concerned about VIP, but they don't see the man lying down and holding the angle. In the meantime, they're just going to go for the swing and the rotate as one body pops up from above. MVK drops the man that they didn't properly check out. Always see your corners, Nug says as he screams and falls to a death. And there is the second one, finds the buck as well. Flynn's health completely evaporated as Mexican tries to hold the angle towards the bathroom door.
Yeah, it's all down to Flynn and Mexican to try and do right now, but Mexican's going to be eliminated by NVK. Up onto cool vibes, Mo Digger finishes it off from above, and Flynn, it goes down. Evil Geniuses take their first round in overtime, and this is looking awful right now for Shrug. But they do move on to the defense now. I can't understand wanting to go to attack on OT. Maybe they knew how they wanted to play this out. Maybe they didn't even expect to go to OT in the first place, but
I think they didn't expect to go to OT.
Potentially.
I would like to put money on that, if that that's a possibility.
Flynn did put out a prediction of 14-0 on Twitter.
He did.
Clearly, that has not been the case, as we'll see EG now on match and series point. The first time that EG has been on series point.
Wow. Kitchen service entrance again as the double down on the point here that we're going to see from the side of Shrug, and they took it twice on their defense. So, yet again, Kitchen is the only point that has been 100% in the favor of defenders today. Otherwise, they've all had pretty mixed histories. In the same lineup, we're seeing some of the ACOGs that we saw before. We're seeing some of the attempted control of the roam that we saw before as well. And, well, I guess Shrug are hoping they see the same response. Either way, it would then put them onto the attack of a point of probably Hookah. But who knows how things could swing this time round.
We'll have a look if there's any method to the madness coming out from Shrug here as they move on to their first overtime defense here on Coastline. This is our decided map. And just 2 rounds left in what has been a hell in a cell of a series so far. And yeah, wow, this has been insane. Shrug. I think Shrug honestly are looking good to try and bring this in, but EG have definitely wisened up quite a lot to what is going on, and some of the later defenses from Shrug have been a lot less successful because of it. We'll see if EG do keep that same mentality, but definitely I think like keeping the Nomad in their roster is the big plus here. Like, this is what they needed, not the Lion.
Well, that's the thing. It allows them a bit of the control of the playstyle that they know Shrug have generally been bringing. Curious to see who gets the first swing, because, as you said, that's generally how these rounds have gone. Unfortunately, they've generally gone in the favor of the person whoever gets the opening frag, and with the aggression that Shrug have been putting on windows and, well, doors and, well, everything that looks anywhere close to outside, you've generally usually seen it very quickly into the game itself. Modiga is slowly clearing through any electronics, Valkyrie cams, anything they can find their hands on again. This is EG setting themselves up, trying to be comfortable with the play space before they make the play happen, and otherwise Wraths is holding the close angle with the Vigil, waiting for something with Valkyrie not farther away, but again, the pressure is coming all around her. There are people droning up towards them, there's bodies going towards DJ Bauk, and then every single time, it's like that image where you see someone sat in the church, and there's someone behind them with a gun, behind them with a gun, and behind them with a sniper. This is this game right now.
Yes, it has been quite a flurry of trades coming out in both favors, and we'll see how exactly EG want to try and take this, but it looks like mostly for this upside take, and they're going to try and take over that top floor and take over VIP as well, as the runout does come through from Nugs, but instantly gets punished out by Necrox. Wrath is actually going to find one in return, however, MVK of the blood, and Shrug finds one of his own. Necrox goes down before he can fully deploy both of his logic bombs. Shrug finds a double kill as well upstairs, and that is Diffuser down as well. Now moving into a 4v2, and this is looking great for Shrug to try and bring this in right now. Shrug does not have a nitro remaining, but he's just going to try and waste as much time as he can. Brings on the Deagle, and that's a triple kill for Shrug because Geo goes down. It's all down to Modiga. He's got to know that he's up here around in VIP somewhere. Diffuser is still down, and Shrug still wants to push this out, but Mo takes him down. It's going to be a 3v1, all for Modiga to do to keep EG in this right now. This is not looking good at all for him.
Well, fantastic play there, and you can see the excitement and the mouse movements from the Valkyrie that I don't think even she believes she could have picked those bodies apart there. But with a minute on, that is all that Mo generally has in his favor. Otherwise, he has to find a way down towards the point. He's obviously still got the ability to find electronics, but with the 5.52 commando and the diffuser in his pocket, that's generally all that he'll be focusing on right now. Because otherwise, it's just getting in there, getting them out of there. With two big ACOGs, a Doctor and the potential of a Vigil holding sneaky angles, it doesn't make any of this easier, and you can already see the body of one hyped up and ready for any long angles. This is Shrug playing this slowly and in a lot of ways playing this perfectly. Let him fall onto you. He has 15 seconds. He's got to kill 3 of you. And he can't even get any of you. Shrug. Overtime. Max point. One more round. Who gets it?
I don't know. I don't know which way this is going to swing right now, but Shrug can move on to the attack. Things on their attack recently have not looking too good for them at all, but they have had a lot of success on attack in the past, and in the first few rounds, of course, and yeah, I mean, this has been an absolute wild ride. No matter how this round goes, this has been potentially one of the best series I've casted in OGA so far.
I can't believe we're on max OT. For how this game started, and for how this playday started, and for everything we've seen, if you were to look at the beginning of the day and you would go, this is the game that is going to be max OT, you'd be like, okay, that's a surprise. And then you'd be like, oh, they ban Jaeger and Ashe.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess, well, look at this lineup for the first time from Shrug. Gridlock on the board.
I like
Nomad as well. Holding rotations. I'm expecting to see some bubble control and bubble push and plant.
Not just that, but Gridlock also bringing the smokes to the board as well, which is going to make the glass pick a lot better here from Mexican. We'll see exactly how that's going to work out. It's going to be the very final round of the series. There has to be a winner. Unfortunately, there was no draws, there was no ties. There is only one victor, and it will be decided as the victor of this round. Maximum overtime here as we move into round number 15. Ish. Do we not have any impacts here for this rotate? Okay.
There's one. There's an impact. They've got the shotguns. They've got themselves able to open some of it as they dig their way through and find themselves in a position where they try and lock it down. Ella on the board for the first time today as well. We've also got the Pulse going to be playing underneath more than likely and expecting with the lineup that they saw, as you said, with the smokes, with the gridlocks, with the tracks to try and master movement and keep control. They're going to expect some pace against this Hookah Balk. You can see the Legion, I believe, of MVK on the far side of VIP, ready to prep a run out just in case they do something with a bit of Vumph and Vinegar, but otherwise it's just a matter of waiting and seeing where the initial pressure comes from. There's some bodies and feet inside Aqua. They actually aren't going from the Hookah side. They're going from Aqua Balk instead. Glaz is going to try and grenade the man out from behind the bar, and this could be a very big pick if he manages to get it, but Neither grenade finds its mark, and Necrox just moves on with a little bit of glass blown into his face from some of the cocktails. And now it's just a matter of seeing if they can get the smoke out of there. They are definitely going to try and sneak the plant into the default plant point here.
Yeah, I completely agree. If they can take this smoke off the board early, this can definitely be a huge game changer. Young, however, playing with the Scorpion onto Cool Vibes and see what he can do from here. We've also got Modigger, and we also do have Geo playing around in the offices, and they could be able to play with that double Nitro to shut down the Aquarium push if it does indeed come through. Geo's going to ping it out, and they're going to say when he can blow it, but no! A little bit of a premature pull out there from Modigger, as all down to Geo to try and shut down the Aquarium push, it would look like with his Nitro. Things not looking too good for EG right now. They don't have too much response to what's actually happening from Shrug as they get a lot of control, and they're actually in sight right now as they go for the push. Mexican still holding down and making sure that Necrox can't do anything here as Flynn goes for the peak. Raph takes down Modigger, but no! It's going to be Necrox who does hold on as Young gets his own pick as well. EG are keeping themselves in this right now as Mexican does get found out by Geo on the run out. Nugs tries to get all the way into the site, but it's not going well at all. Young gets lit up but doesn't get taken down just yet, and it's all down to Nugs. He finds one to Necrox, but he's got to find 3 more if he wants to bring this in for Shrug.
Wow, Nugs, you disconnected on the round where it could have been glory, and now you've got everything in front of you to bring it back together. A minute on, not much more health, but Young has suffered too. The Pulse is a nightmare, just in and of itself, all the information that he can grant and give the defenders. There's also Lesion, so every step is going to be stunned alongside an Elo, which, well, we've seen some of those go off, but who knows if all of them. And a default cam, a very basic mistake to give away your position with only 30 seconds left. They know everything about where you are coming from, and evil geniuses.
Sheesh.
In a weird sentence I'm about to say, take Max OT in a game where it didn't look like they would have a couple of times.
I really thought Shrug were going to take the series there. It was kind of confused that they opted to go onto attack in OT. But yeah, I think they kind of fumbled that one, honestly. But there we go. It will be Evil Genius